Okay, so today we're gonna start off with a story. I think that in this situation, a story needs to be told about what's going on now. I have two dogs. One name is Ping, the other one name is Pong. One of them is they both white. They both look alike. One is a Bichon mixed with Maltese, and the other one is a Maltese mixed with, Bichon. Now, Ping is more aggressive. He's like my daughter. He's I'ma get mine by any means necessary. Whereas Pong is more subtle. He's more, he gives in and he don't like confrontational, and he just a happy-go-lucky dog. He just happy. He comes out, he can be feeling real bad, but he's happy. So, one day, I bought 2 tomahawk steaks. I had never seen a steak that big, and I got it at Sam's Club, and they was marking them down, and I said, you know what? These steaks usually cost $40, $50. I got them for, I think, about $14, $15 a piece. So I knew I had to cook them right away. So I had to go and get a pan, a real big pan, and put it in it to soar, and then I ended up putting it in a smoker and letting it smoke, and had to dress it up. So anyway, when we finished with that, there was 2 big bones. So at the time, I give them a long time by putting them in the kennel by themselves a long time, and then I let them out. Then later on, I give them together time, let them play in the kennel, because they like to sleep in the kennel. Pong has a kennel that he likes to his comfort kennel. So anyway, I put the bone in there, and Ping automatically went for it, and he was eating on his thing. So then I put the second bone in there. Ping went and got that bone and put them together. He was just sitting, and he was just in that little corner. He was just bark, just chewing it up. And Pong tried to go and get it, the bone, and come to find out, this thing trying to kill me. And Ping growled at him. And so I was like, oh my goodness, Pong just said, you know what? I'm going to let it go. I'm going to sit on the side, and I'm just going to whatever. So I said, no, Ping, this is not your bone. Both of these are not your bone. Your bone is somewhere else. You got your bone. This is not your bone. So Ping, I tried to grab the second bone, and Ping growled at me. I said, oh my goodness. So I drew back, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, wait a minute. I got to thinking, I'm the master. This a little bitty dog. I'm not finna let it get over on me. If he snapped me, I'm gonna deal with him accordingly. So went in there, tried to grab the bone. I'm seeing teeth now. Man, I grabbed him by his little collar and picked him up. I snatched both of them bones, and I gave Pong his bone, and Ping got the other one. But after I had to snatch him up, he kind of like, okay, I get it. He had to get in check. But now this is remind me. You said, Samantha, why you saying all that? Are you just rambling? No, because I'm gonna tell you something. The MAGA administration, along with Trump, every time they did something, they growled at you. They growled because they wanted America to be afraid. They wanted the world to be afraid. And you had folks like Candace Owens. You had folks like Tony Sotomayor. You had all these folks that's been talking years about the negativity of black people in our country, about how we need to get along with the Republican plantation. You had folks who got along, went along with it, and they stereotyped how all black Americans are. You take big booty, you take all these other videos of women showing their butts and everything, and you think all black folks are like that. I worked on a job where somebody asked me, do I drink a 40, or do I go out and drink a 40? Well, back in the day I did, but then, as I got older, I drink wine coolers, and then after that, it just went, certain things just went left field. I don't deal with it no more. But see, now, they coming out with their big, beautiful bill. And it was meant, let me say this, it was meant to hurt the brown people. Because think about it. All them folks that Elon Musk said he found in Doge, he found illegal immigrants you remember that, getting all these Social Security benefits. They said they had one person getting 4 and 5 checks, and they had all of this fraud and abuse and all of that. But here's the point. No one went to jail for it. And why is it still that Americans still have a hard time getting Social Security benefits? It's something to think about. Some folks wait up to 4 years that apply for Social Security benefits and still can't get them. You said, well, Samantha, well, how do you know that? How can you sit here and say that? Because you have people who have cancer. They don't have cancer written on their face, but they go to chemotherapy. They lose weight. They have to go through treatments. They may have a situation where they can't work no more because the medication and the radiation probably is making them fatigued and unable for them to be able to work. But you see them as an able-bodied person. You may have somebody that is HIV positive. They're coming out with new medication and stuff. They may have an allergic reaction to something which may cause them not to work. And then, you know what? They may have to apply. Then you got to look at your mental status when you're doing all of this stuff. Because you know what? It's not that Social Security is looking at your physical. They looking at the side effects. They looking at the medication. They looking at your age. And they also looking at your mental stability. Something we work so hard for to get. You got to go through so many loopholes as an American citizen to get it. But yet they are saying that all these immigrants and these old folks and all these other people have gotten it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times versus a real person has been unable to get it. Tell me, MAGA, where that makes sense at. Help me make sense of that. Better yet, you got folks who's saying that they're getting more SNAP benefits than most, Americans. Well, if you've been on food stamps, then you will know that, hey, you have to produce documentation. The state of Tennessee especially go back and check on all that stuff. They just don't give you food stamps just to be giving you food stamps. Regardless if you're an immigrant or whatever, you got to show papers, a lot of papers, even to get food stamps. So explain to me how somebody that's not from this country, that don't know our laws, really don't know the policy, how can they be able to scam America when half of America have a hard time scamming that? Oh, but wait a minute now. There was a white couple that was getting over $200,000 in food stamps a month. They learned how to scam the system, but you don't hear nothing about that. It's the illegal immigrants. See, what really is this right here. That big, beautiful bill is not to hurt the white America. It's hurt the brown people because they think that brown people are getting all this government assistance. One of them congressmen, one of them senators said, hey, he said, while the wife is working, the man is at home sitting on the couch playing a PlayStation. That don't sound like a typical white person, even though it is. Now, it's us. Then you have folks like Candace Owens, who says, oh, I didn't know that Trump was going to do all this to us. Oh, sure you did. Let me tell you something about folks who are racist. They try them little racist jokes on you. They got to try it on the token one. When they try it on the token one, they have to see how you going to react to it. Are you going to laugh? Are you going to agree with it? Or are you going to say something Then when they do that, that's when they really unleash they truthful hate about how they hate the brown people. So Candace knew, because Candace even talked about that. Remember, how she talked about black women like we weren't even human. But then she realized something. Now, even though she married to a white man, she black. She my color. See, it's easy for us, America, to put on makeup. You seen them videos where they be all about good and be doing on Beyonce's song, and then all of a sudden they glammed all up and they got pretty face and they got the hair and they look, oh my goodness, you can't tell the difference. I don't believe they look like that. But see, that's how America been. We've been putting on that makeup of lies and stuff about all this stuff, that this is the American dream, that you come here and if you work hard and do all of this will happen to you and stuff. Now America got to wash his damn face. And you seeing all the blotches and bruises and scars and all that other shit. Who the hell is that? When I saw that at the club, and I went to your home and slept with it, and there's on the pillow, is makeup all on your pillow. You go in there, she wash her face. She can't even, she can't even, and this is how America is. I'm talking about America. She can't even take the makeup off. It's it and got in your sheets and all of that, and then she wake up. You know how when you sleep with makeup on, how it don't look that fresh look and stuff. She can't take it off, because now she's taking it off, she gonna look like the monster she really is. A big fat lie. Ain't that something? A big fat lie. Instead of America now, but this is the time now that you see all the bruises and you see all the mess and you see all the imperfections of America. This is a time now, right now, not next week, now, for the America to work on his skin, work on his face. I'm going to tell you something. I used to look like a pizza. I did. I used to look like a pizza. And I tried makeup and I tried foundation, and I realized that the more I put, I was trying to cover up some deep, dark scars that was in my face, and I had to use a ton of makeup. To cover it. But then I realized if I stopped doing that, stop buying all the expensive makeup and concealer and all of that, and then I worked on my face. I washed my face. I used turmeric on my face. I cared for whatever the blotches is, and I started working, and I still do. And I started, making sure when the bumps come, I take care of that. And I use turmeric, and I use a moisturizer, and I start doing it. When I start taking care of the inside of me, then you know what? The less makeup I have to wear. And I've gotten so comfortable in my skin, because some of y'all see my videos, I don't wear makeup. But I do every now and then, but I don't wear makeup. And it makes me feel beautiful. And I'm realistic with myself. A lot of things come with age. This racism is one of the things that's been hidden in America for so long. They've been putting makeup on it. Oh, you need to get rid of this. You need to stop talking about it. You need to stop saying it. It's been 400 years. Y'all need to let it go. And now, everybody wants to bring up that elephant in the room. So you say, well, you know what? You realize something. You got folks that actually realize something. That that, hey, I need this people. I need that. That's what it's showing. It's showing that we need each other. That it's not about race anymore. We need to address that racism, that ugly elephant in the room. And stop acting like America is not racist. We need to start addressing that, we have some cultural haters in our family. You got folks that hate black folks, they black. Folks that hate Hispanics, they Hispanics, so on and so forth. We got to learn now that we're here. We are here. This new age is here to finally get rid of and settle Jim Crow. Now, for the congressmen and stuff, they see the trending. Like I told you in my last video, do you think that they saw that march? They were hoping that the Trump MAGA movement was so strong that he threw that parade. He was so confident that when he threw that parade, that it would be a bigger turnout than the protest. That's why he didn't care. He wasn't worried about that. He thought it was going to be so elaborate and so many people were going to come. That was going to seal his fate. That was sealing Congress' fate. That was sealing the Senate fate. That was letting them know that, hey, you know what? If it had been the opposite, none of these state representatives, these federal representatives wouldn't have gave a damn about how much you went out in that street and protest, because the ones that was at that parade would have signified, hey, this is where we going. And we ain't got to worry about the midterm election, because this is where we going. But we, as America, in so many ways, are showing up and showing out. And they see that, you know what, their seats are up for grab next year. Their livelihood, their political career could be assassinated at this moment. Yeah, I'm saying assassinated because that's what they're doing. They're killing their own careers. And now they shocked. Trump ain't got it going on like that with the American people. So how he doing it? Well, we gonna stop parades. We gonna do this. We gonna do that. He trying to pass that bill, so he said I need it done by Monday so I can sign it on the 4th of July. But you know what? Despite what you say about Democrats, they playing a strategic game of chess with checkers. That's what they doing. So the next time you see so many folks talking about President Trump, and you ain't gonna see it, not in the positive way that you saw it in 2016 or 2024, you're not gonna see that. But you gotta remember now, a scared dog always bark. But if you stand up to that dog, you let them know that, you know what, you ain't going for it, I guarantee you, we got victory. Y'all stay the same. I finally did this. Ain't that so? Y'all stay the same.